Sports Blitz on 12 News.
And welcome to the 409 Sports Blitz. Things looking different, at home tonight because we're not at P&G Indian Stadium because what a night of storms.
A wet, sloppy, crazy. It made it interesting, I'll say that. My shirt is still soaking wet, Ash. I'm like shivering in my cold shirt right now.
My pants are soaked. You can't see that luckily at home. But yeah, it's been a wild night. I've seen things I haven't seen before, including down at the reservation where the turf was actually floating because they got so much rain there.
I was in Port Arthur. I can tell you it was the same thing. 4 inches on the sideline. You couldn't see the away stands from where I was. It was just lights and just pure rain. Absolute chaos out there. I hear about the Texas rain. I've only been here for about a year. I think this was my introduction to it.
He was just talking about how it really hasn't rained that bad since I've been here. He got to see it tonight.
I got it tonight.
But you know what? They did get to play some games tonight. Actually, they got all the games in tonight somehow, including our 409 Sports Blitz game of the week. It's Mid-County Madness. And yes, folks, there was plenty of rain all over the 409 tonight. This one started about an hour and a half after kickoff. P&G Nederland meeting for the 99th time. Pick things up here, opening quarter. That's Brock Hebert there picking up some big yardage out to nearly the 40-yard line. Now, Shea Adams going to take the pitch here, going down to the 20-yard line. Takes a big-time hit. Adams is up, though, and he's feeling it. Indians keep the drive going as the rain starts pouring down. Touchdown there, and the students, they're starting to feel it there. Indians going on top 7-0. But I mentioned rain, and it would keep coming back over and over. Hubert Thomas for Nederland breaking through, nearly busting that one. Nice tackle there by number 7 at the ankles, pulls him down. Huge stop there. Then Aiden Sunday, deep ball to Jake Havert. Who says you can't pass in the rain? They're getting it done right there. They're out to midfield. Nederland still driving. It's 4th and 6, or I should say 4th and goal from the 6. Sunday rolling out, decides to keep it. He's into the end zone. We are tied up at 7. At halftime, Nederland led 10-7. But as we go to the update right now, they are in the third quarter. Shea Adams has just scored a touchdown. P&G goes up 14-10. The
Indians the favorite in this one, but we said it in our preview. Anybody can win Mid-County Madness. We saw it last year. Nederland right in this football game. It's coming down the wire.
It never fails, people. I keep trying to tell you.
Awesome stuff. We'll keep the highlights going. Went out to Port Arthur. Like you say, a bit of a rain delay. People kind of hanging out. They did finally let the fans back in, and then the rain started shortly after. It was raining cats and dogs. How about the national anthem ceremony, the wind blowing the flags around?
That's dedication.
But the players were loving it on the sideline. They were fired up, and Coach was loving it as well. Coach Morgan there, fighting through their elements. And we start with the kickoff here. How about this? Right to the action. Kickoff to start the game. It's going to be picked up by Caleb Goody. He's going to head to the left sideline. I'm trying to film it. There's so much going on. I got my pants completely soaked out there, but Goody is not worried about it. He's scooping up the rock on the first play. He's down the sideline. Touchdown for Caleb Goody to start things off. How's that for a first play of the game to start off a wet one? Had to show you the sideline one more time. 3 inches of rain. It's like a pool on the sideline. You can swim to your water bottle. And now offense we go for Port Arthur. Going to be Jacorian Baker taking the handoff, picking up a nice first down, splashing to the ground. Now we stick with them, and of course with the rain, a fumble. It was recovered by Port Arthur, but we switch sides. We go to Barbers Hill. They weren't afraid to throw it either, Ashley, going way downfield. Just barely able to get that one on camera inside the 5, but Port Arthur would stall them in the goal line, so they try to kick a field goal. Bad idea tonight. Slippery ball. It's loose. Port Arthur's going to jump on top of that. They go back on offense, and it's Davian Wilson, a guy we have been saying a lot this year, getting outside the tackles, keeping it himself, the quarterback for Port Arthur, picking up a nice gain. And we're going to stick with Wilson again on the next play, keeping it himself again, going to that right side. I'm trying to stick with him because I can hardly see what's happening on the field. And there he is, picking up a nice play. Oh, I was trying my best. And didn't really get much scoring outside of that. Of course, the huddle there for the players. It was 7-0 at that point, but as we go to the updated score from Port Arthur, 21-7 it has gone final. They get the game in.
That's a huge win for them because it almost guarantees they will be hosting a first-round playoff game if they take care of things here in the final week. Now, how about LCM and Lumberton? They moved their game to last night. That was a good idea.
Couldn't think
Perfect weather. And the student section from the L Train, yeah, they were going, ready to take on those LCM Battling Bears. Lucas Powell's going to go deep ball to Brady Fusilier. End zone, wide open. That was literally the first play when I walked in the stadium. It made it 14-0. That's going to get the kids going. Yeah, they were amped up. LCM now on the other end. Dean Reynolds finds Demarion Morris. Nice game, but they would fumble, turn it over. LCM would get the ball back. How about Brock Bonner? Look at this hit. Boom! Knocking down the receiver there. Big time hit. They were laying the wood all night long. Then Powell is going to find Trey Kirsch. First down, nearly takes me out.
Look out on the sideline,
I'm agile. I get out of the way.
You're quick.
Lumberton lined it up for the field goal. That's good by Tanner Timpton. They would lead 20-0 at half. And look at this final from last night. Lumberton, they have clinched the number 1 seed out of 10-4A Division I final, 41-7.
We have yet to see anybody slow down that Lumberton offense. They strike again. More highlights here on the 409 Sports Blitz. We're going to Vider and Huffman. A big district matchup. The Pirates surely going to be up and ready for this one. We start with them on offense. Isaac Fontnow picking up the first down. Not easy to tackle him. Nice play there. So they go to the other running back this time, Jason Watson. We know that slot T Mafia is lethal down in Vider. They hand it off to Watson. It's hard to stay with the ball. And, well, number 14 has it. He's in for the score. 7-0 Pirates at this point. Now Huffman on offense. What can they do? Tyson Woodland, the quarterback, taking it from the shotgun. He's looking for Tyler Wilkins. He's airing this one out. He's got Wilkins and nobody else around to stop him there. He's going to tie the game at 7 at this point. Now back to Vider on offense. Jason Watson, the guy we talked about in the first quarter. They give it to him again. So difficult for camera people to keep up with the ball. Sapphire,
slot T is tough.
It's like magic tricks out there, but Watson had it, picks up a nice first down. Now he's going to finish it off with his second touchdown of the first half. Again, not going down easy. He's able to stretch it across. 14-7 Vider at that point, but now back on offense goes Huffman. Woodland, the quarterback, again looking for his receiver, Tyler Wilkins. He's got him on the out route. Wilkins has this step, and he's not going to be stopped. Ties the game again there, and it was all tied up at halftime, 20-20. We go to an update on the score from Vider and Huffman. Vider, 48-34, a huge district win for them.
Certainly is, and that's pretty much going to lock up the number 2 seed for the Pirates, and, you know, that's going to avoid taking on maybe a Chapel Hill in the first round. Big time win there for the Pirates, and, you know, standing by there. And she said she was dry for most of the night, so that's a good thing.
I want to know how.
Sapphire Cervantes, see, you were lucky. We sent you out there away from the torrential rains. You did get some rain, and now you got to deal with Coach Jeff Matthews. I'm so sorry. But, Sapphire, wrap this one up.
Well, guys, yeah, you're right. We are pretty dry out here. I mean, it's a little chilly with the wind, but it stayed dry most part. When you came back from halftime, there's a little bit of rain. So, how did really that affect you guys? I know coming down at first, it was 20-20 and a half. You got that wet rain coming back. The field's a little slippery. So, kind of how did you have to change things up coming back onto the field?
We had to quit throwing the ball. You know, we're known for our air attack and throwing the ball all over the field. We had to come back with a little of the running game. It's called, we run it every now and then. No, I'm picking. We run it all the time. I know Ashley laughing. He's laughing at me. No, I was regretting not having my rain jacket in the second half. I was regretting I got wet, that water running down my neck. 2020, we challenged at halftime. We challenged our kids to come back out and play like we were capable of playing. They came back and got a big pump block right off the bat, and our kids responded well. Big win for us. It secures second place for us, and very proud of the kids for coming back.
You know, when we talked during the summer, you said how, you know, excited this team had you, just the passion they had for the sport. So, are you still excited? I mean, clinching that second spot, does this team still make you excited?
Absolutely. They won 5 out of the last 6. You know, they started off, we had a tough schedule. We went 0-3. They won 5 out of the last 6. Lost a good Lumberton team. Other than that, we'd be 6-0. They're just all heart. They're not big. They're not the fastest team, but they'll match wheels with anybody. And couldn't love coaching enough group.
Well, Coach, I do need to tell you that, I mean, your play, I got to have some practice with filming it because, I mean, Cam was talking about it. It's like a magic trick. The ball just kind of goes wherever it may at any point in time. So just when you're putting that up against a team that does pass like their quarterback had, how reliable were you in that?
You know, I'm just comfortable. You know, I've always thought those guys said if you pass 3 things can happen, 2 of them are bad. We just believe in what we do. We knew they had a great passing attack. Our DBs didn't play very well in the first half, but they stepped in the second half and they played well. We just love what we do offensively. Our kids buy into it. They love it. We try to control the clock. We try to keep their best guys on the field, and it executed well tonight.
Well, thank you so much. Go ahead, go enjoy, go get warm, heat up a little bit. Yeah, I need a stool out here, apparently. But we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you so much, Sapphire. And, of course, you know, he points at us. That's my fault. That's my fault that I didn't send out the step stool with her. That's what he's going to say.
He's like 6'4", 6'5". What can you do?
I mean, come on. You know, this is normally the time that we'd be talking about the Band of the Week. And we did award the Band of the Week this week. The Nederland Bulldogs Marching Band, they took home the honors after nearly 50,000 votes. Mid-County Madness, it is madness, it's crazy. They had 54% of the vote tonight.
Wow, and it was close. I was going to say 50,000. I'm almost not shocked. Mid-County Madness, that's almost as many people were at the game tonight, I'm sure.
And, you know, what you don't know right now is that I'm keeping up with this game right now. And P&G, they are driving. They're inside the 5-yard line, 14-10 Indians leading, and they're now in the 4th quarter.
Oh, still going out there. The rain delays.
So we're going to come to our first time out here on the 409 Sports Blitz. Plenty of more to come, including a lot more rain video.
Yeah, just an all-around wet night. Hope you had a towel.
It was a wet night. We're going to have plenty more coming up later on the 409 Sports Blitz. And welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz. Once again, if you're just joining us, we're normally out in the middle of things at our game of the week. That wasn't going to happen
Not
tonight.
a good night to be live on scene.
No, we were out there at, Indian Stadium, at least I was at the beginning of the game. An hour-and-a-half delay at Mid-County Madness. The turf was floating. The sidelines were underwater. My camera took a dive tonight. I wasn't even in the rain. It was raining sideways under the stands.
I lost some shoes tonight. I definitely lost some AirPods. Definitely some things being lost in the
Did you lose your
tonight.
dignity?
What's that?
Did you lose your dignity?
No, I think I hung on to
the
that.
word.
But it was just a point where I was like, is this going to stop? It's been going for 45 minutes nonstop. 4 or 5 inches it felt like on the sideline. It was It was insane, but they played through it, which is even crazier.
You know, the BISD Alumni Bowl is going on tonight. Westbrook and United having tough seasons, but you want to beat your rival. And you know, they're facing off tonight, and you wouldn't believe this. It was raining out there.
It rained there too.
It was raining a lot. In fact, the delay, I believe, was over 2 hours finally when we just had to call the coverage of this game. Derry Shiloh, he left from Beaumont, went down to P&G. As we came back into the studio, we had a little
He's
move
been
around.
hustling tonight.
A lot of things going on tonight. Big time delay out there, but they did get this game underway. In fact, they're playing right now, and if we could take a look at that scoreboard, second quarter, Westbrook leading this one in a close game. It's 14-7, and you know, you want to get win number one. They are now sitting in the third quarter. I just took an updated look at the score. Third quarter, Westbrook leading 14-7.
Right, maybe not huge postseason implications in this one, but there's still a lot riding on it. You don't want to be a winless team.
That's right. And Beaumont United's never beaten Westbrook, so you know they're hungry to knock off the Bruins.
Well, we're going to keep an eye on the score for
Certainly,
sure.
we'll keep you updated. Don't you worry.
All right, some more highlights to get to. This one went fourth, and they played Hampshire Finette and Liberty. This one in Liberty. The Panthers going to be looking to knock off the Longhorns. We start things off with an interception. It's Dalton Fowler catching that one for Liberty, but now Hampshire Finette trying to get the ball back. Well, they're on offense here. And unfortunately, another turnover on the way here. Dante Zeno looking to make something happen. The coverage breaks down. He heads towards the sideline to maybe step out, but a nice strip there from the Liberty defense. And Victor Ruiz is going to recover it. Big time stuff there for Liberty. Can they make use of the football? Gavin Fontenot looking for Nathaniel Wilkinson. He's got him, and I've got his name wrong again. I thought I had it right there. Fontenot. You'd think I would know by now, but I don't.
If you could see the look I gave Cameron when he said that.
He's lip syncing it to me, and it's not working. All right, Hampshire Finette, Tyler Spencer, the running back, in for the touchdown. So a little back and forth in this one. Hampshire Finette, a couple turnovers might cost him in the first half. We go for an update on the score in this one. No, they were able to bounce back from it. 30-7. Longhorns picking up the win after the loss last week to Silsbee. Good to be back in the win column.
And they actually got off to a slow start in that one, so great job there by Hampshire Finette to take care of business over the Panthers. How about last night? Bridge City running into the buzzsaw that they are the Silsbee Tigers. They're ranked number 4 in the state. This was the second play of the game. The first play was a false start, then you do this. How about Brisbane going over the top to Draylon Miller, 65 yards, and it's already 7-0, just like that. Now, Tigers get the ball right back. Guess what? Brisbane, 2, Draylon Miller. And he's just going to outrun the secondary. We talk about Miller all the time.
I was just going to say this.
But we got to give credit to Brisbane.
Yeah,
that
perfect
guy
passes.
is fantastic. Got a great trigger there and really makes that offense go. Now, speaking of the offense, Bridge City gets something going there. Halfback pass. Gavin Brown going to Cale Bro. First down, but they would fumble. Then the man, the myth, the legend, the one with the best last name in Southeast Texas, Jamarian Elam is in there from 8 yards out. Touchdown, Tigers, 22-0 at that point. And as we go to the final from last night, yikes, 70-0. And I've seen some people saying some things on social media today. I will let you know, Silsbee was pulling out the starters. They were not trying to rub anything in Bridge City's face, and even some Bridge City fans came to their defense, said no, they played a good, clean game. There was no, smack talk or anything. It just, Silsbee's really good.
They can compete, I'm sure, with some college teams. I mean, they're no joke. Draylon Miller is basically a college player on a high school team, and he's only a junior, which
is makes it really scary.
Crazy to think about. All right, more highlights to get to here. Jasper, Hardin, Jefferson. Bulldogs, we know, have had a great season so far.
Guess what? It was raining out there.
Surprise, it was wet on the field. Jasper's number 22, Jacovian Adams, starting things off with a touchdown. Bulldogs on the board early now. It's Zakee Simmons, senior quarterback, who we've seen a lot this year, finding Cameron Adams out on the left side. Adams picks up the nice first down. And now Simmons this time going to keep it himself. Goal line situation. He's across for the score. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Now, we actually go back to Hardin Jefferson on offense. Zykeelan Hadnot. Great name there. Looking for Brock Lacey, and he's got him. This is going to be a 70-yard pitch and catch. Lacey turning on the Jets. I'm sorry, that's Lackey. Brock Lackey for the 70-yard touchdown.
Add the extra touchdown, though.
Letter in there. Nice play for Brock Lackey, and now Jasper back on offense. Zakee Simmons the quarterback. Again, keeping it himself. Nice read option here. He makes the right read, and he is in for the touchdown. He has had a great season so far this year. We go to the scoreboard on this one. Jasper 28-8. They roll over the Hawks.
Guess what? That sets up a district championship next week up in Jasper. Silsbee, Jasper, both undefeated in district play.
That's going to have a lot of eyes on that one.
You know what? A lot of eyes. Yeah, I'm just going to say it. It's going to be our game of the week.
All right.
We're not even waiting.
Rare.
I mean, it's just too big to hide.
Rarely does Ashley let the cat out the bag this early.
You got to. I mean, it's so big. I mean, it's a huge rivalry, and it's just going to be a fun night up there in Jasper. Can't wait to get up there. And we especially hope the weather is better. Now, last night, Orangefield was looking to clinch at least a share of their first district title since 1988, Cam. I was even young then.
I was not.
I was going to Taft Elementary at the time. Pick things up, Gavin Perry Cosi. It's almost going to take this one all the way, but he is taken down inside of the 5-yard line. That would set up a Cade Singleton touchdown. Orangefield went up at that point 27-0. Now, Perry Cosi, once again, the slot team mafia. Sapphire was stuck with 2 slot T teams in a row.
It's tough.
And she's doing her best. She's learning the offense. It's tough for anybody.
Just zoom out and get the whole thing. That's
Exactly.
what I do.
That's a touchdown there. Perry Cosi. And yeah, Orangefield is starting to port on Kirbyville at this point. Now, Lane Gibson in trouble. Big time hit from Jace Huffman. Actually, Lane Gibson has the big hit on Jace Huffman. Incomplete pass there. Then Cameron Dishler. Look at this guy. Rumbling, bumbling, a little bit of stumbling, and he's going to take this one to the house. Big time players make big time plays, and big time teams put up big up points. Touchdown. Orangefield, they roll last night over Kirbyville, 58-0. I was texting with Coach Smalley today. He's thinking back over all the years. He thinks this might be the first district championship he's been part of as a player or a coach.
That's got to feel pretty good.
Certainly going to feel good, but they got some unfinished business because they haven't clinched the #1 playoff spot. There could be a tiebreaker. You know, they're playing Orangefield next week. A lot of things going up in the air. How about we take a look at some other scores for 10-3A Division I. These games were played last night. The entire district decided to let's beat the rain. Let's play a Thursday night.
I think it paid off. I think that was a good idea.
I think it did, but look at this. There was 3 shutouts in the district. 58-0 Orangefield, 52-0 Buna over Tarkington, which, by the way, Buna clinches the #4 playoff spot. They went from losing their coach to making the playoffs.
How about that for a
Pretty
turnaround?
unbelievable. Great job out there by Coach Terrier, taking over the Cougars and getting them in the postseason. And also East Chambers with the blowout over Hardin, 47-0. They're sitting 1 game back of Orangefield. So if East Chambers beats Orangefield, Anahuac takes care of their business, you know, he can have a 3-way tie for first, and then it comes down to points and all kind of stuff.
I was going to say these teams need to play each other. These teams that are blowing out their counterparts.
You know, and they have, and they will. It's gonna work that way.
All right.
More scores from last night, and actually some from tonight.
Yeah, we got 12-3AD2 Trinity and Warren, 28-8. That one was tonight. Warren picking up the win there, and then 61-6 New Waverly over the Lions with the win there.
Now moving on to 2A Division I and Division II scores here. 12-2A-D1, 12-2A-D2. Leon knocks off West Hardin. That was kind of an upset. The Oilers could have been in great playoff position with the win. Instead, the Cougars take it to them 41-20 over in 12-2A Division II. Colemanville putting it on Holday Zeta, 42-0. Congratulations, Coach Day. They're going to the playoffs.
It's that time of year where you're starting to punch the ticket.
It's a great time of the year. More scores from 12-2A Division II. This one from last night as well. Deweyville. They have set themselves up for a district championship showdown against Lovelady at Pirates Stadium. Both those teams scored a lot of points last night.
I was going to say, Lovelady, they have been real good this year. That should be an interesting matchup.
Now down to 1A, which is also known as 6-man football. We haven't had a score coming in from High Island and Burkeville, and honestly, we don't know if they've got underway down there on the coast. It's been rough tonight.
I would think it would have been a little choppy out there.
It would have. Meanwhile, up in Chester, this game was actually much closer than the final score. Leverage Chapel was a huge favorite over the Chester Yellow Jackets, and they were within a touchdown late. Lions, they pull away and win this one 80-50. Great job, though, there by Chester, the Yellow Jackets. They should be in good position to still make the postseason.
All right.
And one more score to tell you about. Private school from last night. Not so good for the 409. Kelly.
It's been a rough year.
It has. They come up short at Second Baptist. Second Baptist is the top-ranked team in the district. Their record, I believe they're only like 5-4, but they played a killer schedule. When Kelly moved down to Division II, I was talking to some of the administrators and former coaches, and they were like, Don't let this fool you. Going down to D2 doesn't mean anything because there are some really good teams like Second Baptist to deal with. Second Baptist, they have a great baseball program as well where Andy Pettit's the coach out there.
Oh, wow.
Lance Berkman used to be out there as well. So
some big names.
Some big names out there. And, it's been a big night. A big, crazy night here on the 409 Sports.
Should have brought a change of clothes.
I did
What
not.
I'm realizing now.
I did not. I'm probably got pneumonia at this point. Can't wait to do it all again next week if it rains. Can't wait.
Do it again next week. That's right.
All right, we got more coming up after the break right here on the 409 Sports Blitz. Hi, and welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz. And yeah, it's been a crazy night for us. Rain everywhere. Games are still being played as we speak.
I was standing out there at Port Arthur, and they're in a delay, and the players started coming back out, and I almost was like, is this about to happen right now? And then it just opened up the floodgates. I mean, I'm going to post some of those videos, I think, on social media, because it was like straight out of Friday Night Lights, the show. It was just like that rain episode. You could, it was beautiful, really, looking, but the fact that they played through it, I was just stunned. I was
literally with my family, because Carrie was in our ear saying, we could hear storms are probably going to hit there around 15, 20 minutes. And he was right on the nose because right as you were leaving P&G, started feeling the rain, and the lightning alarm went off during our live shot. Yeah. We saw that because they cleared the field right after we were live. Unbelievable night. Our 409 Sports Blitz game of the week, Mid-County Madness. As we mentioned, there was an hour-and-a-half delay. There was delays all over Southeast Texas, but we keep on swinging. We keep on going. Let's get to those highlights from our 409 Sports Blitz game of the week. Yes, and it was Mid-County Madness, and it was a madness kind of night. Rain all over the triangle. Pick things up here early on. P&G with the ball. And that's going to be Brock Hebert coming up with a big-time run there. More from the Indians. It's Shea Adams. They're going to pitch it out to him. He's going to take this ball down to the 20. Takes a big-time hit, but he's okay. Steps up. And the Indians are knocking on the door of the red zone. Now they're knocking on the door of the end zone. Brock Hebert in for the touchdown. And look at the student section. Yeah, they came out to play even in the rain. Speaking of rain, the rains would return over and over throughout this game. Nederland pinned deep. Not anymore. Hubert Thomas got himself a big-time run for the first down for Nederland. Now, Aiden Sunday tossing the rock deep, and it's going to be Jake Havard on the other end. He's got himself a first down. Now, all of a sudden, Nederland is facing a 4th and goal from the 6-yard line. That's going to be Sunday keeping it himself, and he is going to find the corner and the end zone. Touchdown inside the pylon, 7-7 at that point. Nederland led this one 10-7 at the half, but as we go to the latest, It is a classic coming down to the wire. P&G is leading this one 20-17. Now I can tell you exactly what's going on right now. P&G was just driving inside the 10-yard line. Keep in mind, they already had 2 turnovers tonight. 2 bad punts gave Nederland short fields, and the Bulldogs took advantage. That's what you do.
I was going to say.
We saw Jasper do that against Hampshire Finette earlier this year.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? P&G driving inside the 5-yard line, and they fumbled.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Nederland has the ball right now, fourth quarter late, inside their own 10-yard line. Definitely a lot of things can happen in this one.
And it's a wet night. You got to hang on to that football.
You know, when we picked this as our game of the week, people said, it's because I went to P&G, right? People were just rough.
Yeah.
They were saying there's better games out there. P&G 6-2.
That or the Lumberton LCM game.
Nederland's 2-6. Well, last night, Lumberton beats LCM 41-7, and I said you never know what's going to happen in Mid-County Madison, and right now that is happening. 20-17, P&G. Sorry if I'm looking down because I'm keeping an eye on this one right now. Indians trying to hold on for dear life at the end.
It was the right call. We saw it last year that Nederland came out and won that game. Anybody can win in a rivalry game, especially on a wet night when the ball is slippery. 3 turnovers, like you said, is really going to have a big impact on the game. Now all of a sudden it's 3-point game. Nederland get the ball back. You just never know what's going to happen in a game like this, especially when you add in weather elements.
And that's what we dealt with all night tonight. Weather has created a havoc around here. There are still 2 games going on. Not only is Mid-County Madness still going on, the BISD Memorial Bowl, last we heard was Westbrook was leading that one 14-7.
Yep.
And, you know, we're trying to keep up with all this while we're live on air. Unfortunately, couldn't be live in the studio. But Nederland now backed up inside their 5-yard line. I'm taking a peek right now, trying to keep you updated with the very latest. And it looks like they got themselves a first down. But we're going to have much more on this. We're going to take a look during the break. But before we go to the break, you know what time it is?
Excitement continues. It's time for the hit, probably my favorite time of the show. Let's go to the hit of the week.
The hit of the week, brought to you by Campbell Portable Buildings.
And this is going to be a guy who I think has a great name for hitting. Brock Bonner. He sounds like he hits hard.
Brock the Rock.
Lumberton's Brock Bonner steps up, lays the lumber. Big time hit there, laying the shoulder into him. Big play there for Brock Bonner for our 409 Sports Blitz hit of the week.
And welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz. We were talking about that BISD Alumni Bowl, and we've got ourselves an update. Fourth quarter right now, Westbrook leading it 20-7 over Beaumont United. Bruins, that would be win number 1 on the season, and just it's got to make you feel good to get that win number 1.
That has to feel really good. Like you said, Beaumont United trying to get their first win over Westbrook. So it's starting to fall out of the cards tonight, but either way, it's gotta feel good for either of those teams to pick up a dub. And I know for the locals, a lot of people paying attention to this game, right? I mean,
Certainly are.
It's their two local teams, and the Bruins look like they've got it in the bag.
Now, we also have, another update right now as I'm taking a peek. Nederland had the ball 20-17 inside their own 20-yard line. It was about 2:20 left. Their quarterback, Sunday, has been doing a heck of a job keeping the Bulldogs in this game. He was just intercepted. P&G has the ball now. It looks like inside the 35-yard line, around about the 34-yard line. There's 2:02 left on the clock. Indians trying to cling on to that 20-17 lead.
Yeah, tough play for Sunday. You're trying to throw your way out of the game.
Right.
I mean, you're down by 3 points in the fourth quarter, and it was a nice play that the defensive back there for P&G made. He stepped under that ball, made a nice catch. Now a chance. You'd think that run game for the Indians has been pretty good all year long, but hey, you cannot fumble the football. They've done that a couple times. I think tonight, right now, you're really huddling over.
We saw Coach Joseph before the game, and he was a little intense.
Yeah, he was. He said,
he was a little
do not
intense
drop the football.
Yeah, and the Indians have had at least, I know, 3 turnovers so far tonight, and that is not going to make them happy. I feel sorry about what's going to happen in practice. I guarantee a lot of people are going to be holding on to that ball.
Job security. Ball security is job security.
That's right. Speaking of job security, you know who has it right now? Because she might have the best job on a Friday night.
Man, I'm starving.
Sapphire Cervantes, she literally goes stadium to stadium, dealing with slot T offenses lately, but she goes to stadium, and she finds some good food to eat and then rubs it in her face right about now when we're extremely hungry. We did eat at the Wheelhouse before the game, but that's been a long time ago.
And that was bomb.
It certainly was. But here is this week's edition of What You Eatin'.
Well, 409 Sports Blitz coming at you live here from Huffman Hargrave because I'm at the Vider versus Huffman game, and we're still dry for now, crossing our fingers, but keeping with that dry, positive attitude, I'm here with China because we got some good things on the menu today, and she's in charge of the whole concession stand shebang going on here at Huffman Hargrave. And so how do you fuel these Falcons? I know we were talking, you say you cook everything, you're in charge of everything, so I mean, what's that like?
I share the power, I share the authority. It's another lady and I. It is a full-time job. People do not realize. We try to sell different, unique things to bring people to the concession stand, and most people just anticipate the usual, the nachos and Frito pies. And we like to have something good. I mean, if you're going to be spending your time out here sweating or freezing, you want someone that's going to have some decent foods. Next week, if it's cold, we'll probably do chili. I'm sorry, Texas, I put beans in my chili.
That's controversial.
No, I was like, don't want to start a fight. But no, so we cook a lot of food. Everyone really loves it. It goes towards our kids, and that's all that matters. If you're out here working for your babies, it's not work.
So really important question that we ask on the 409 Sports Blitz. You already said it before, but what are we eating today? What you eating?
Tonight we're eating churros, and we're having sausage and chicken gumbo.
Okay, and we're gonna try this gumbo. Now I've had some pretty good gumbo in the Golden Triangle, so
I bet.
I might be a gumbo expert by now. Well, I can tell you guys, this has a little twang to it too. It's a little kick behind it, but that's what we like in Southeast Texas.
Football, you gotta have
Exactly. It'll keep you warm, keep your belly happy. That's all we have time for, you guys. We'll see you next week on the 409 Sports Blitz. What you eating?
And welcome back in, guys. I don't even know what I just saw.
Yeah, you're
But no, I saw the gumbo being ate, but I'm also I'm keeping up with the game. We mentioned P&G has had a really tough time holding on to the ball tonight, right? They're under 2 minutes left. They're trying to run the ball out. They just fumbled it. Nederland scooped it up, took it all the way to the house. 23-20 at that point. They've just added the extra point. So Nederland is on top of P&G 24-20, and there's got to be just over a minute left in this game.
A shocking revelation. We talked about it before the game, too, that Nederland, they need this game. They need to win this game.
Absolutely need this, but also P&G needs this because if they end up with 2 district losses, they could fall in a situation where they don't host a playoff game. So still a lot to be worked out. But it's time for our next time out. Before we do, though, it's time to take a look at our play of the week.
The Play of the Week, brought to you by 5 Point Credit Union.
And a 409 Sports Blitz play of the week comes from a game last night in the dry conditions. Cameron Dishler, refusing to go down, takes it to the house and helps lead Orangeville to their first district title since 1988. That's the 409 Sports Blitz play of the week. And welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz. Indian fans probably wondering what's happening if you're sitting at home not in the rain because it is pouring down right now. We can hear it. The Indians have the ball now inside the 35-yard line. They are trailing 24-20. They will need a touchdown to win. A field goal will do them no good. They're actually at the, right around the 30-yard line going into a timeout. Now let's take a look a bit at next week.
Yeah, looking
We
ahead
got some
to
big
next
games
week.
going on next week. We already let the cat out of the bag on one thing, but there's a big Thursday night game, Port Arthur Memorial taking on Kingwood Park. That could be for the district championship. I'm not sure what Kingwood Park did this week, but they were battling it out for PA for first place. And P&G going to Galena Park, and yeah, they've had their hands full this week. They can't look past the Yellow Jackets next week.
Going to be another tough one next week for P&G. A couple of the games we're paying attention to. Lovelady and Deweyville talked about that, how important it is for that district. Silsbee and Jasper is also going to be all eyes on that game. That, like you said, you already called it.
That's
it's going
right.
to be the game of the week.
And Orangefield East Chambers, a couple of good ones there, and New Waverly Newton. That's also for a district title. So we've come ourselves to the end of Week 10. It's been a wet one. And we don't have the band of the week, but we do have some band action. It was a drumline battle between P&G and Nederland last night. So we're going to say good night with that. We'll see you next week, Week 11 of the 409 Sports Blitz.